Good day, all of you beautiful people. My name is Michael Grant, and welcome to the We Debate podcast. I said we, however, my co host is nowhere to be found. But with the knowledge that the show must go on, let's go. Today is the first episode of this podcast. However, we're going to be talking about, you know, um, specific topics. However, we'll just be vibing most of the times. Just have a chat. You know, um, as I said, this podcast will be a debate mostly on stuff that are happening and even stuff that are from the past, but mostly stuff that is about to happen and is happening in this present day. You know, it's the first episode of this podcast, and I have big dreams for where this podcast can go. You know, my co-host will be my sister. Her name is Tiana Grant. We're just gonna be vibing. I think that this podcast will be, you know, um probably like a two episodes a week, you know. Just pump them out, pump out some content. As I'm saying, this is the first episode. It's not gonna be the best thing you're gonna see. However, I am sure that I am committed to the cause, and I can, basically make something out of this train wreck. You know, so today I want to talk about, you know, the whole thing of people changing, characters of well-known TV shows and even movies. Recently, you might know that there is this HBO Max show by the name of Velma, where we get a view on Velma from the popular TV kids show Scooby Doo. Everybody knows Scooby Doo. It's very popular. They are a well known, you know, franchise. Scooby Doo. It's one of those big shows that collab with, like shows like Supernatural. You have them collabing with, other popular shows like Batman. And even they get their shows, their own shows, like their own movies, their own TV shows, and things of that. It's Scooby Doo. Everybody knows Scooby Doo. Recently they've been posting about Velma as a series. As I said, this is an HBO Max, and they did a few things to Velma. They first of all, she's like this Indian character now, which we know Velma as a young white lady. You know, um, a lot of people might say, "Oh, it's just the race. There's not a big change in anything, just a race." But it's there is something to it, in my opinion. There is something to it because we've all known Velma as this white girl. We know Velma. That's her. And introducing someone of a different race, it's not gonna feel the same. If they're going for this nostalgic thing, it didn't work. And I think the way that they went was like this woke thing, like very inclusive type of thing. I'm a black guy, you know, and I'm all for the inclusivity with all of the races. We've been fighting as minorities for a while now to be included into the conversation. But I don't think this is the way to do it, because at this point you're belittling the other races, the other race rather, because Velma is already known to be a white girl, and changing that is like you're belittling that race to bring up another, and I don't think that's the right way to do it. What they could have done is, um, use the right Velma and put more minority characters in it, because I'm getting to understand that Daphne, which was also another white girl, was, I think, Asian in this movie, in this TV show rather. And it's particularly interesting to me because I'm saying that all the main characters in that movie are changed. Their race are changed. Their races are changed to minorities. And it's really, I don't think it's going to go down well. It's not going to go down well because, people are going to say, that's not the Velma, that's not the Daphne that I know. And it's going to flop, in my opinion, when you take the factor that people are not going to like it because you change a character. It's like this. You know me as a black guy, right? And I'm coming I'm starring in this show from it's a show that was originally made in, let's say, the 1950s, and you always know me as a black guy, and then, you know you've built emotional attachment, kind of, you've built a bond with that character because you love that character. It's like you know that character personally, and then when the owners of that particular show said, well, I'm not going to use this black guy anymore, I'm going to use a white guy as the same black guy. So my name is Scott Parker, and I'm a black guy in the original show, right? So what they're gonna do is they're gonna change Scott Parker into a white guy and let him play, the same character in a sense. People are not going to gravitate to that because they don't know who white Scott Parker is, right? They don't know that person, and it's not gonna feel the same because they change that person. And when you do bring up the thing of, you know, I'm not rocking with Velma. When you do bring up the thing of, I'm just not rocking with Velma, the TV show. I'm not rocking with it because I don't know who I don't know who Indian Velma is, right? I don't know that person. People will say, well, you're racist and you don't like to see minorities thrive. And then you're gonna say, well, I'm black as well. I am a minority as well, and I don't like it. People will say that they'll try to find some way to discredit you as the person who clearly don't have a liking towards something that they clearly change to fit with the modern standards, right? Sorry, excuse me. And what's going to happen there is basically they're going to try to discredit you because you don't. It's like they're saying, if you don't like that particular show, your views are bad in other senses. So if you don't, in retrospect, if you don't vibe with Velma, the new show with the Indian Velma, which is changed from a white girl to an Indian, and you don't rock with that, then you don't like Indian people, you don't like minorities, and you're a racist. That's how people will make it um play off. And it's interesting to me personally. It's very interesting because people whine and complain now about every single thing that TV shows are trying to capitalize on this new generation or this new standard of living because people are trying to be so overly inclusive in a way, like they are trying so hard to try and make everybody have a role in everything, and it's they don't know that it doesn't have to be like that. There can be a full white show. There doesn't it, there doesn't have to be a black guy in that show, a Mexican or even Asian in that show. It can strictly be a white show. It can strictly be a full Mexican show. It can strictly be a full black show. There's there's not always a need for you know inclusivity. Like there's not always a need for all the races inside a movie. There's not always the need for all um you know all sexuality inside the movie. Meaning there's not there doesn't have to be gays in a movie. There doesn't have to be trans people in a movie. It can be all gays. It can be all transsexuals. There it's not always it doesn't always have to be a mix. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't always have to be a mix, and that's what I think the big movie companies and the big companies that make shows and make advertisement and make platforms, that's what they're getting wrong because they feel as if including everybody inside a show, that's what gonna make people view it more or enjoy it more. And I think that nowadays, in my opinion, shows are not authentic anymore, right? Because they're trying so hard to appeal to every single um every single um like they're trying to appeal to everybody, and you can try that, but it's I don't think it's supposed to be the only thing that you factor in, right? You're supposed to try to make the movie good firstly. And I don't think that modern movies are nice anymore. Look at Light here. That's a trash ass movie. That's a trash ass movie. Being that you know they're trying to do all of this inclusivity in the modern movies. Like it was trash. The writing was bad. You know, there wasn't even a love interest for Buzz. It was trash. It was trash in my opinion. It was so trash. You see shows like She-Hulk, that's trash. They're going towards this men are trash, I am a woman, I'm strong. You know, they're trying to overplay things. And yes, we have strong women, yes, but when you're saying I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong, and it's just like forcing it down our throats, it's gonna get old very quickly. I don't think there's a TV show with a man going, I am strong, I don't need help from women. No, you don't see that. And they nerf Hulk so much into this in the She-Hulk series. They nerf Hulk so much. Like this guy is literally nerfed to bring up the female character. Like everybody can shine, you know? Everybody can shine in the series. And there's this scene where there's a scene in She-Hulk where um Hulk was it's you don't even have to go into it. It's just all trash. And there's there's just this thing now with movies. Like everything is just so soft. Everything is just so soft. They made this they made this series about Jeffrey Dahmer. He's like a serial killer known to mostly kill young black homosexuals and eat them. That's very intense. And people are just going at it saying, yo, this is very, you know, this is very like creepy and why is this on Netflix? It's it's as if like we're just so soft nowadays. Everybody's just so soft nowadays. It's crazy really because it's based on a real life event. There's so many shows. We have Titanic. That's based on a real life event, you know? And Titanic is based on a ship sinking and a lot of people dying. And that's if you look at that, that's very dark. That's very dark. You see people dying and can't help themselves. That's very dark. But back then people weren't as soft as they are today. Nowadays, you get a show on Jeffrey Dahmer who was a serial killer. It's not like the show is telling people to be a serial killer. However, there are people who are out there that are simping over this guy. But at the end of the day, it's a movie, and I think common sense should tell you that it's just a show. It's just a depiction of what went on in real life. So I don't think people, well, the majority of people are going to watch that show and take influence and say, yes, I want to be like Jeffrey Dahmer. It's based on a real life event. They're just trying to portray what happened. People are going out saying, why is this on Netflix? I don't watch it, and it's actually good. It's very good. It's a very good series. I recommend you on watching it. So it's all it's nowadays it's all so soft. It's all so it's like everybody's just pandering to everybody nowadays. They did one thing. Someone might do one thing nowadays, like they messed up, and everybody's just walking away from them. Long, like long friends, people who are friends, who were friends with them for like 10, probably even 15 years, walk away, making public statements saying, I am not associated with this individual anymore. The person probably just made a joke online. It's a joke online, probably just made a joke online. And, you know, depending on how people take that joke, like brands will drop him, your own friends will drop you just because they don't want to be associated with you because they don't want, to look bad, or probably they just want to look good on the internet. Everything is just so soft. There's no authenticity to anything again, you know? And I see why a lot of people are depressed. I see why a lot of people are having suicidal thoughts, you know, because nothing is real anymore. Everything is so, you know, superficial in a way. It's materialistic. You go on Instagram right now, everybody is at 10 out of 10, and you see that person in real life, they're like at they're like a 2 out of 10. Believe me, people are modifying their bodies, like injecting all these type of things inside their body just to have get a few likes on Instagram. It's not pretty out there. It's not pretty nowadays. Everybody's just they're not the same nowadays. You have sites like Twitch who are pandering more to the women, and pandering in a sense it depends on how it happens. It can be very it can be very wrong. In Twitch case, it's very wrong because you know a female streamer can do something, and just because female streamers are the one who mainly bring a lot of viewers, a lot of men, a lot of people who are willing to pay for subs, and you know that brings money to the platform in droves. Twitch will be more lenient on people like that. They might do something very horrendous, like this girl, Twitch streamer the other day who literally had sex on stream, literally had sex on stream, and you know, show all that work that was what I was there to show. Literally just got a slap on the wrist because that ban wasn't she got I think a week ban for doing that. And I kid you not, that same streamer, she actually threatened to shoot up the Twitch main office. So you see, and things like those, you're saying, well, if a man did that, it's not gonna be the same result if a man did what she did. You have Twitch streamers, well, former Twitch streamers like Gideon, who, well, to be fair, he did send a raid to Pokemon stream. However, I think things like that, it's in my eyes, it's more light-hearted. So it's you would think probably you'd get probably a week ban. Let's keep it about probably let's say a month, just to try to lean towards Twitch's side. To try and put what their decision is into logic. We're gonna say a month. Let's give him a month. No, he didn't get a month for sending a raid to another Twitch streamer's stream. And that's even in someone sending a raid to your stream. That's so light. That's so. I don't think that needed even a reaction, really. How can that affect your daily life? I can see it. How can a big Twitch streamer like Pokemon, who earns millions of dollars, um, well, let's say a million, she earns millions of dollars, right? A little raid, how can that actually affect you? I don't see how all of this ties in. Okay, anyways, someone send a raid to your stream, and that person is gonna get punished, right? Let's say a month, leading towards Twitch's side. He doesn't get a month. He gets lifetime banned for that soft thing. And the girl who literally had sex on stream got a week ban. And moreover, she actually threatened to shoot up Twitch's main office, our office. I don't know if there are more than one. You see, like things like this. I think nowadays people know who makes the money for their platform. People know who makes the money for their platform, and people know who have the power nowadays. You know, like people who are females on like females that are on street that are on Twitch. As I said, there's a lot of girls who show cleavage. Guys are very weak to those type of things. So men will come in droves and sub, and which will lead to more revenue for the platform. Twitch are not stupid. And then you have people on Twitch who are very simp like, and like most of the mods are sims, and they think that if they put in all the hours for the Twitch streamers who are the female Twitch streamers, if they put in all the hours that they will get to date them and do this. They don't understand that the Twitch streamers that they're going all out for, who they are literally being unfair for, are going home, or even are they are home, after they turn off the cameras, They're gonna get their backs blown out by their husbands and their boyfriends and their whosoever. Like these guys don't understand how the world works. You're literally just a random mod in a Twitch stream. You're literally just a random employee um at Twitch. Do you feel a Twitch streamer who earns millions of dollars are gonna give is gonna give you a chance? Like you're more likely to find a dime if you throw it over a waterfall. To go back to look for it, you're more likely to do that than a Twitch streamer to give you a chance as a mod, as a Twitch employee. I I feel like even the bigger heads at Twitch is aware of what they are doing. They know where the money is coming from. They know who makes the money. So, you know, you'd feel that they can do what they're doing a little more discreet, but they are doing it so public. Everybody's noticing it. If you go on Twitter right now, I'm betting you $1,000 that you're gonna find someone, mostly 90% chance of being a male, like posting on Twitter, at in Twitch, asking what happened to their Twitch channels because you know they probably did something very small and got banned, probably even perma banned, and they are going to at someone else who is a female, sorry, who's a female doing the same exact thing and didn't even get the look from Twitch. Like they're just blind towards that. We need to understand that nowadays women like to go on camera and say, "Oh, there's a pay gap. There's a pay gap." You know, there's a pay gap, and men are the scum of the earth. Men are this, men are that. I really don't understand why they do men like this. I really don't understand why men are treated like this on the daily. It's very hard being a man. It's very, very hard being a man because as a man, you're expected to go outside, work these 9 to 5 jobs, you know, bring in the bread, split it with most likely more than likely a woman who is not working, pay for our bills, pay for everything, pay for our hair, our nails, all our materialistic things, just for her to love you and be with you. That's a generic depiction of what women expect and what men think that a relationship should be. And it's very sad if you look deeply on it. It's very sad. It is very sad if you look on it. I am 22 years old and I think about it every single day. How men are treated in this day and age. Men are 90% of men are the ones who are in the jobs that are frowned upon, the garbage collectors, the people who work in the sewers, people who do mining, all of those hard and nitty-gritty jobs, men are the one who do those jobs. Men are the one who do those jobs. And then we get ridiculed. We get called the worst thing you know, since forever. We get told that we are supposed to be we're not supposed to cry. We're not supposed to do this. We're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to be strong and this and that. And on the other hand, when you are stoic, when you are strong, when you are showing off yourself as being the men that they said they wanted. Oh, it's toxic masculinity, and you know, um, men are just this thing that is just we just can't win. That's what I'm trying to get across. You just can't win as a man, and unless you're a handsome man with a nice job and all of the above, you don't even get looked at in the streets. It's just the harsh reality of things out there. It's just how things are, you know. And on top of all that, you get ridiculed, you get, you get harassed on the street, you get called names, everything. And I just find it very, you know, I just find it very interesting in a way, just to see how things are now. Back then, women usually speak high of a man, you know, like they'd say he's the man of the house, he's in charge of things, you know, men had more power back then. But now people are taught to hate. Well, women are taught to hate on men because men are the scum of the earth, according to them. And it's crazy. If it's crazy if you actually look on it and say, yo, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. You just can't win as a man, and that's the thing why people think that men are, you know, toxic. That's why they think that men are toxic, because they just don't understand. They don't know what men go through on a daily, you know? And that's just another problem that is under the umbrella of today's standards. They're changing all the shows, trying to be overly inclusive. They treat men like shit, you know what I mean? And the companies nowadays are very unfair towards men. It's a lot of things that is going on nowadays. There are a lot of things that are going on nowadays that I'm not particularly rocking with. However, I'm glad that I have a platform like this to air out my you know my qualms with the current state of everything right now. Factoring that this video might not get as many views, I am very passionate about talking about things that I have interest in, you know? And I hope that if you are a man who is suffering from things like this, I encourage you to, subscribe and like this video, because there's going to be many, many more things coming. And this channel is mainly about debating in a way, but as I said, my co-host is not here at the moment, so I just have to wing it in a sense. I think that in the future, there's just going to be this war between men and women. I can see all the phone I can see all the foundations like just laying out themselves. If you go on TikTok, if you go on YouTube, if you go any platform, Twitter, there's just always someone with a mic just asking a woman questions. Do you think a man should do this? And then asking a man, what's your ideal? There's just always this always this gender war. There's this always this gender comparing all and I feel like it's leaning very unfairly in the women's corner. Like they are the one, they are mostly they are mostly the ones who are very unfair, and I think that you know when it comes on to men, they are just noticing what women are doing nowadays. You go on TikTok, you see all these videos calling men targets, trying to just use men for just money and just like taking their feelings as a doormat, walking up all over it. It's just it's just very it's very it's a very hard time to be a man nowadays, and it's a very hard time to be an individual nowadays. Everything is just so complicated. Everything is just so complex. Everything is just so soft. Everything is just not how it's supposed to be. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Remember, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. We Debate Podcast. We're out.